Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening as we talk about all things computing at UQ. We know this time of year can seem daunting and you may feel completely lost about what to do after high school. We have been there. But after this presentation, you'll feel empowered to make an informed decision about what you may want to study at university. We will also give you some advice and tell you about what it's like to be a computer science and IT student at UQ so that you find that transition from high school to university that much smoother. So tonight you will be hearing from two current students. That's myself. My name is Irene. I am studying computer science and a Bachelor of Arts, majoring in criminology. And I am joined by Rena, who is an IT student.
Hi.
So throughout the session, we will be sharing our unique experiences of studying at UQ and provide you with some tips and tricks that we have learnt along the way to help prepare you for day one of university and beyond. Tonight, we also have the pleasure of being joined by Chelsea Dobbins, who is a senior lecturer at the school and will run through the ins and outs of the Bachelor of Computer Science and Bachelor of Information Technology. So whether you see yourself working at Google or protecting our personal data from cybercrime, get comfortable. We'll be going through all that information tonight, so you're in the right place and enjoy the rest of the presentation. So just a bit of housekeeping before we begin. To avoid bandwidth issues and for your privacy, your video and microphone will be off for the duration of the presentation, but that doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you. We do encourage you and your family to use the Q&A function to ask us questions. The session will be recorded and our staff will respond via the Q&A function during the presentation or afterwards. So make sure you're using that throughout the evening. Our staff, so if you are having any technical difficulties, please use the chat and one of our team members will come and help you. So as I mentioned before, my name is Irene. I'm studying computer science with a major in cybersecurity, as well as a Bachelor of Arts with a major in criminology. Just some things about me. My favourite subjects in high school were information technology systems and music. Outside of my studies, I like to play mandolin. I play in an ensemble and we are actually having our first concert soon since the start of the year, so I'm very excited about that. And my dream job is to investigate cybercrime. So as you can see on the right hand side, that is a photo of my timetable. Maybe not, it might not be what you are expecting. I only have to come to uni Mondays to Wednesdays. The hours are also outside of the 9 to 3. I start at 8 and finish 4 p.m. most days. I also have a 2-hour break in the middle of the day, which is probably different to your break times at high school. Some students like to use that break in the middle of the day to relax. To study, but I prefer to use it to relax because I find those 8 a.m. starts to be quite challenging. So it's good to use the middle of the day to just relax, catch up with friends and eat my lunch. And on the left-hand side is a picture of a project I've been working on this semester. It's a group project and it is a carbon emissions tracking app. And so the purpose and what we hope to achieve from this app is to show users what their carbon emissions look like on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully that will encourage people to reduce their carbon emissions. This app is part of one of the courses you will probably study. It's a design studio course, and it's meant to simulate what it would be like to work in industry. So we have a client and they have asked us to develop this app, and this is the product that we are delivering to them.
Cool. So now that you've heard a little bit about Cyrene, I'm just going to give you all a brief introduction. So my name is Verena and I'm studying IT here at UQ. I'm in my 3rd year and I'm majoring in software design. So a few things about me is that my dream job is to develop software for a technology company. So I did actually pretty much score my dream job, which is my second point, is that I had an internship during my summer breaks, and I found that to be a really great experience, and it really sort of helped me realize that I was on the right track and I had chosen the right degree. So I actually worked for a company that's called Altibox in Norway, and it is pretty much the equivalent of Australian Foxtel. And so my job was pretty much quality testing their TV services. So it would be like an Android app, an iOS app, like, and the STB for the TV, which is just that little box. And it was really fun, and I essentially just got paid to like watch TV and sort of try everything from a user experience and standpoint, so just sort of play around with it and see if any bugs sort of appeared. And yeah, it was really, really fun. And outside of my studies, I do love to go to the cafes or to the beach with friends, which is obviously perfect here in sunny Queensland. So yeah, you can have a look at my timetable here to the right. It's a bit different from Cyrene's. So you see the light purple squares, they are my uni classes. And then the darker purple is my my work, which is tutoring here at uni. So for my work in tutoring, I just sort of, I help out and with project development for a first year course that I already did in my first year. So I find that to be quite rewarding, quite fun. And as you can see, there is quite a few different names for the classes that I have. So you can see that there's lectures, tutorials, practicals, and studios. It can be a bit confusing when you're not like quite used to it, but this is something you'll understand as soon as you get started in uni. But I'll give you a quick rundown. So lectures is what you probably might be a bit familiar with, is that you go to a big lecture hall and typically you have a lecturer sort of talking about the theory and of a course and sort of trying to explain basic concepts, and you tend to take notes and you can ask any questions you have usually at some points of that lecture. And then we have what's called tutorials and practicals. That's when you actually apply that theory that you learn in the lectures, and you get a chance to discuss with your tutor and ask for any help, and you typically do some exercises, and you also tend to get some one-on-one help from your tutors, which is a really good opportunity to sort of develop your skills. And then we also have what is studio classes. So as Irene mentioned, there's some design courses where you typically develop something such as an application or a website. So this is typically a lot of group work. So you work in teams of probably about 5 to 6 people, and you try and develop and design and code these applications. And so this is a really good opportunity to sort of work on your teamwork skills and design skills. And there's obviously more to uni than just sort of that busy schedule. So outside of uni, I do like going to play some sports. So I did join the UQ handball team, as you can see on the left-hand side here. And I found that that was a really good opportunity for me to sort of stay active in my studies, and also you get to meet a lot of new people. So that is definitely something I do recommend. So I find it was a really good way to sort of meet people outside of your course. So you can meet people from all sorts of degrees, and it sort of just gives you a different experience. And also, as you can see, we did win, which was very fun. We went to the Gold Coast in a tournament which is called Uni Games, which is just a tournament between unis in Australia. So we played teams from all over Australia, such as University of Sydney and University of Western Australia and all that. And it was just a really good opportunity to stay active, but also have a lot of social events going on. So with that being said, I'm going to hand over to Chelsea to give you a bit more information.
Thanks so much. Hi everyone, I'm Chelsea Dobbins, a senior lecturer here at UQ. So I've really been working in the tech field for over 10 years now, with background in software engineering and computer science from the UK. So my degrees in technology have taken me all over the world, and I'm really excited to be here now at UQ. So I'm really passionate about technology, as I use a lot of it in my research and teaching, especially wearable technology, which is a really cool and upcoming tech to be investigating and researching. And I think the number one advice I'd probably give as you start out your degrees and your journey is to not be afraid to try new things. So I know it can be difficult at this time to really know what you want to do and what you want to work with in the future. So my advice is really just to keep an open mind and don't be afraid to try something new. I didn't really know a lot of the stuff I'm doing now until I tried it. So at UQ, I teach our human-computer interaction course, which most of our students will do. And this is really a lot about how we design cool new technologies for people to use. In my research, I do a lot of research projects that use a lot of new and upcoming tech, so a lot of wearable sensors, applications of machine learning and AI. And what I've really been focusing on is trying to detect emotions using these sensors and signals, which has been applied to driving. So for example, if we're driving our cars and we get a bit angry and a bit worked up, our sensors can detect this and make an informed decision and make a reaction. So such as the car might slow down, or we might have calming music playing, and we get to test out a lot of our theories and ideas in virtual reality as well. So combining a lot of virtual reality with sensors is really a really exciting area to work in. And now we'll take a closer look at what are the attributes of our computer scientists and tech professionals. So innovators, so you could be creating the next TikTok or Facebook. Problem solvers, we need to solve complex problems in a logical and systematical way. We're creative, which goes hand in hand with problem solving, as solutions aren't always obvious. We're team players. Despite some of the misconceptions, working in a team is really essential for almost any job in this field. Adaptable is super essential as well, because tech is such a rapidly changing field. You need to really be adaptable and able to take on new things quickly. And it's really an exciting and emerging industries, as most of the jobs that you'll be training for now may not even exist yet. And you need to be curious and resilient. So eager to learn, looking for trends, having really an investigative look at issues. So we'll delve more now into our computer science degree. So what exactly is it? Well, we've got a lot of things that are essential to our well-being. So it plays a role in curing, looking at cancer, fighting climate change, all those sorts of big real world issues, and really touches on things like data science and making sense of our data and turning all this quantitative data into something useful. Got conversational agents, so things like your Google Home, Alexa, Siri. A lot of security focus as well, such as protecting all our systems from attack and damage and unauthorized access. And then you've got AI, which is pretty much emerging in most fields now. So making training systems to be smart and looking for trends that they can use to enhance their capabilities. So the Bachelor of Computer Science at UQ is a 3-year program designed to really provide you with a deeper understanding of all aspects of computer technology. So part of our program is that you have the opportunity to major in one of our 5 majors. So we've got cybersecurity, which looks into things like secure and programming techniques and ethical hacking to safeguard our individuals, our business and governments. You've got data science, which comprises fundamental techniques for end-to-end processing of data, everything. Now we've got so many devices per individual, which spit out a lot of data, and we need to process that in a fast and efficient way to make sense of it. We've got a major in machine learning. So this really looks at the study of algorithms that automatically learn and improve themselves with experience and more data. Then you can look into the different side a bit more at the programming level. So a programming languages major looks really at the craft and science of programming. And then you've got scientific computing, which is more on the math side, studying algorithms for mathematical analysis.
Hi, thank you, Chelsea. So you can, as you can see on the screen, we have a range of dual degrees that you can study alongside the Bachelor of Computer Science. So there you can see there's a Bachelor of Science, a Bachelor of Arts, which I'm doing, engineering and mathematics, and business management and commerce are new, and you will be able to study that alongside a Bachelor of Computer Science starting next year. So I thought I might just explain why I decided to study a Bachelor of Computer Science and a Bachelor of Criminology. A Bachelor of Arts major in Criminology. It's because I think, as you'll see throughout this presentation, cybercrime is becoming, a huge issue. I'm sure we've heard about it in the news, and as terrifying as it is, I think it's quite interesting. And I just wanted to learn as much as I could about, why do people commit cybercrime, and what are the ways in which we can combat this growing issue. So to me, it just made sense to study both of these degrees together. And I actually, this afternoon, I had a quick look at the new Bachelor of Computer Science program, which you will be able to start studying from next year. And I noticed that there is a criminology course as part of that, which I think is great and so interesting.
Thanks, Irene. So in addition to our dual degrees, we also have a new set of programs of our new vertical dual degrees. And this will enable you to get your Bachelor of Computer Science and Master in either cybersecurity or data science in 4 years instead of 5. So you'll end up saving a lot of time, but doubling your efforts and opportunities with essentially a bachelor and a master's in less time. So that was a quick rundown of our computer science degree. So now over to the Bachelor of Information Technology, which really provides you with a lot of skills and understanding to succeed in this highly competitive business of tech. So the difference between the two really is that computer science is more theory-based. So a lot of concepts, theories, study of computers, their architecture, their inner workings, languages, that sort of thing. And whereas the Bachelor of IT is more applied. So application design, deployment, configuration, more at the sort of application level. And you'll be prepared for any number of career options, working with computers and information to apply your technical skills to solve real world problems. So in our IT degree, we have 3 majors. So we have user experience design, which is more around the design of software, websites, or technologies that are useful and easy to use. We've got software design, which is more around the creation and management of software applications. And then you've got software information systems, which is looking into creating large, effective, and efficient systems. You'll also gain your professional experience during finding your placement, working on industry-based projects that build on this knowledge and skills that you've attained during your studies. So again, dual degrees are really a great way to improve your employment prospects and broaden your skills and your horizons with knowledge by studying essentially 2 programs at the same time. It may sound like a lot, but it's really a way to really boost your skills in 2 different areas. So you compare your IT degree with business or commerce, for instance, and you'll really be in a good position to offer IT solutions, but from a more broader and holistic approach, because you'll know how the business works, and that will set you apart. So this is just one example of a very successful career in IT. This is Mick Cannon-Brooks. He is the founder and CEO of a startup company called Atlassian. So he is a former IT student, and his company is worth a lot of money, around 11.3 billion US dollars. So he's doing quite well for himself in the field of IT. At UQ, we actually have a special hub for students who want to work on their own startup company in their spare time, the Idea Hub. So if you've got that entrepreneurial drive, check that out when you're here. And this is just another case study example of a career looking more on the cybersecurity front. So in June of this year, our Prime Minister really made a bold move to come out and say publicly that Australian organisations were actually being targeted by the sophisticated cyber attack. So this was a really clever move, as a lot of organisations and individuals across the country would automatically change their passwords when you hear that a system's been attacked. And this would increase their security to effectively increase the level of protection that Australia had by making a human firewall against these scams and attacks. So this was all made possible by our cybersecurity experts who identified the threat, analysed it, and prevented the attack. As modern warfare now is pretty much predominantly online, that's where we're headed these days. So in both programs, you'll really get the best of both worlds because they cover theory and practice, as our courses provide a really strong foundational knowledge backed up with high level practical application. So this is just one example. This is a project from our physical computing course that took place last semester from one of our final year IT user experience design students, Lucy. So her project was all around energy saving. So she built this cactus prototype while in total lockdown and managed to get it functioning and working. And it included, the picture on the right is the fully interactive cactus that had all these built-in sensors and a switch box, which is the picture on the left. And the device was really used to measure indoor temperature and compare it to the outdoor temperature. And if the cactus thought it was inefficient, it would change color or its facial expressions, or it would vibrate and speak and all sorts of different things. So this is a really cool example of one of our students inventing something really interactive. So the entry requirements for both programs are similar. So OP7 or Rank 87, ATAR 86.85, and we have a number of prerequisites. So Queensland Year 12, General English subjects, mathematical methods.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the programs now, but there's also a lot more to offer in UQ. So it's a lot more than just study. So we have things such as a lot of support. There's a lot of people here willing to help you. So you have things such as student services, which can help you with your mental health and well-being and counseling, but also your study skills if you're looking to have some help with that, and also things such as accommodation. We also have the EAIT employability team, which is here to help you with any sort of career advice you want. So do things such as read resumes and just in general help with any sort of job prospects you have. And then we also have what is called academic advisors, which are academics. We can help you with your timetabling and study progression. And apart from that, we also do have a lot of global experiences. Of course, now things are a bit tricky with the travel bans, but we are looking forward, hopefully in the near future, to help you with global exchange. There's a lot of exciting opportunities there. I chose to study abroad myself, and it was the best decision I ever made. So we have things such as a student exchange program, short-term global experiences, and there's also 200 exchange partners in 41 countries to choose from. So that's very exciting. And we do also have student societies, and there is a lot of them here at UQ. We have over 200 student societies. So you're pretty much bound to find something that you like, something that you are interested in. And one of these that relate to the one, to what we've been talking about today is the UQ Cyber Squad.
Yeah, so I might just jump in and talk about the UQ Cyber Squad. I'm a part of that club, and basically I have participated in a few of the workshops. The way the club works is, you know, they hold workshops on various topics such as networking or threat hunting, and it's pretty much a peer mentoring workshop. So there are students who are a lot more experienced in these topics, and they'll help you complete some tasks. But it's not just that. They also sometimes they participate in competitions. They're not compulsory, but I think it's a great opportunity for students. And I think earlier in the year, one of our teams participated in some sort of competition, and they ranked quite highly in the world. I think it might have been top 10, 20 or 10. And I really recommend that, you know, if you decide to come to UQ to join this club, I've found something that's, you know, been really valuable about being a part of the Cyber Squad is, you know, the support network. The other students in the squad are so, they're so welcoming, so willing to give you tips and tricks on, you know, how to get started with regards to cybersecurity, and they, you know, always sharing resources about what helped them become, you know, gain a high level of expertise in that field. So yeah, I think it's a great club.
So we also have the Liveris undergraduate scholarship as well. So this was established in 2019 by a global business leader, Andrew Liveris, and his wife, Paula. So it's $10,000 per year. And the purpose is really to encourage and support outstanding students in our program. So check out the website, the scholarship, UQ scholarship website for more information, as it closes at the end of October. So might be thinking, oh, do I really have what it takes? Could I be a tech buff? Well, if you enjoy problem solving and being creative, have a love and desire for technology, really want to work in a really fast-paced, ever-changing industry, then you're in the right place. This is the area for you.
Thank you, Chelsea. So before we sort of jump onto you guys asking us questions, Cyrene and I would like to give you some final advice, just things that we would have wanted to know when we were in your guys' position. So some things I could mention is, do not take the stereotype of IT students too seriously. When I started my course, I was really scared I was going to be like the only girl, and it was a bunch of people who just didn't have social skills, and pretty much like the IT crowd, if you've seen that, but that was definitely not the case. There's such a huge range of individuals, and you're pretty much bound to find someone you'll get along with and someone who's like you. Another thing I would have liked to know was that at that point, I was also very scared of being underqualified when I started my degree. I thought that because I didn't have any programming experience, that I wouldn't be sort of able to do well in my course. But I absolutely had no reason to worry. Like, the lecturers are here to help you, the tutors are here to help you, and they do assume that you have no prior knowledge. So they're here to teach you from scratch. And I absolutely picked that up with no problem. So that is definitely not something I think you should have to worry about. And lastly, I'd like to also say that it's a good idea to talk to other students and ask the tutors when you find anything difficult. So they're only here to help. So it seems a bit scary, but everyone is in the same position. So if you're struggling to understand something, ask the person next to you, did you get that? It's very easy. You might make a new friend. It's very, very nice way of doing that, I think. And tutors are only there to help, which is something I relate to now that I'm tutoring as well. I'm very happy to answer questions. We do not think you're dumb if you have a question. It's a good way of just making sure you understand things rather than being stuck in just by yourself.
Yeah, so similar to Rena, I also didn't have any programming experience before I started my computer science program, and I was a bit worried about that. And so if that's the case for you, you may want to briefly learn Python, which is a programming language that you will learn in your first semester at university. But you know, as we've been talking about, it's not necessary. You will receive a lot of support along the way, and they do assume that you have no knowledge, so it's nothing to worry about. And you know, now that I look back at the start of my degree, I've definitely learned so much, and I can now do things that I didn't think I would be able to at the start of my degree, like writing programs. And another bit of advice that I have for you is to participate in the Jumpstart academic preparation program. It typically occurs before orientation week. It's non-compulsory, but basically what it is they hold a series of workshops to give you academic tips such as, you know, time management, how to do assignments, how to take notes in lectures, which I think, you know, the lecture style might be not what you're used to at high school, where you get a lot of support from the teachers. So, yep, participate. Sorry, was I on mute the whole time? No worries. So yeah, I think it's really great to participate in that. And, you know, some of the people I met in that program have become my friends now. So yeah, highly recommend. Yep. And so now finally to end, we'll finish on a short video of us talking about some of the best aspects of studying tech at UQ.
I found that IT really allows me to be creative and design, whilst also doing logical stuff such as problem solving.
So computer science is a very dynamic field, and every few years there is a revolution. So it's very hard to predict, but we have seen how the internet, artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things have been and will be changing the way we live and we work in the future.
So for me, in the Bachelor of IT, the best aspect is our studio stream. And I think that's something that's quite unique that we offer. So across each year of the program, students will study a studio course. And the aim of this course is that students bring skills and knowledge that they've learnt across all of their other courses and all of the other stuff that they do more generally to propose, design and deliver a technological solution over the course of the semester. So the really nice thing about this is that the students have ownership of the project. So they drive the project, it's theirs to develop and it's theirs to evolve. And then they showcase it at the end of the semester.
I started hearing words like cyber attack and cyber security in the media and movies and TV shows. And I started to realise how important cybersecurity is to protecting our way of life.
So for me personally, I'm a maker. I love creating, whether that's through knitting or through code or through gardening. And my goal as a lecturer here is to equip students with a design process. I think because technology touches every part of our lives now. We use it for work, we use it for play, we use it for entertainment, we use it for health, we use it across almost every industry. And we need really good IT professionals to go out there and build and design technology that works for society, works for individual users, works for companies, and I think there's some really great opportunities out there within the IT, in the future of the IT industry.
So computer science is one of the most requested type of skill at the moment. It's in the top 5 jobs in Australia that look at automation, artificial intelligence. So students who graduate in a computer science degree will have skills which are in high demand, and will have the opportunity to work either for the big technology corporations, but as well as in other fields, right? And bring innovation, digital innovation to other fields as well.
So thanks so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Rena and Zyrene, for your time and help. Your advice was I found really useful. I didn't have any programming experience myself when I started my degree, and now I develop mobile apps for my research. So thanks again, everyone, for your time tonight. Kristen is here to help answer any questions that you may have, so please send them through via the Q&A function.
Thank you, Chelsea. We did actually get one question come through before the presentation, which I'd like to put to the panel to answer. The question was, what makes computing and IT different to software engineering?
I think the sound broke up a little bit there, but was it the difference between IT and what was
sorry,
it?
Yes, sorry, that was the difference between computing and IT and software engineering.
Okay, so I could answer a little bit from what I noticed from my degree and from my friends who do software engineering. So just from my perspective, probably the biggest difference is that IT looks a bit more at how humans interact with computers. So we look a bit more on design, like the design side of things. So we have a few courses which have like the course code of DECO, which is more design related courses where you're looking at sort of more aspects of designing software, I'd say. And then you also have things such as the accreditation of having engineering, and also the foundation courses, which are part of the engineering degrees. But yeah, do you have anything to add, Chelsea?
No, yeah, that sounds really accurate. Software engineering is more around the development side. So the main goal is really to develop systematic models and reliable techniques for really producing high quality software within time and budget, whereas computer science is more theory based on the other end, and IT is more application applied on the other side. Of software engineering kind of spans across both of those to use all these different skills to develop high software, really.
We did have another question come through earlier, which was about the programming languages that you'll learn as part of the program. So Zyrene, you mentioned Python will be learnt in the first semester. What are the other languages that you learn throughout the program?
Yeah, so good question. Some of the other programming languages that I've had to use in my degree, it has been C and also Java. This semester as well, I've been using Dart language. Now that isn't taught explicitly, and it's not compulsory. It relates to, as you saw at the start of my presentation, the app that we were developing. So you might have seen in the video before with the design studio courses, they are completely self-driven, and so we had to choose, well, what programming language do we want to develop this app in, and so we used Dart. So you know, apart from that, I think just C and Java are the ones that are taught in courses, but I still have a way to go in my degree. I might come across new ones as well.
Thanks, Irene. Does anybody else have any other questions? I can't see any more coming in through the Q&A at this point, but if there is anything else you'd like to know, please contact us on outreach@eait.uq.edu.au, and we can get back to you with any other information you need.
Is there one question? Sorry, I thought I'd just mention, someone asked, are there lessons where you can make games, or is that a different subject? Have we answered that? Did we?
If you could answer that, Zyrene, that would be great.
Yeah. So I actually wonder if Rina would be able to answer this. I feel like this is something you would do in IT.
Yeah, so that's right. So there are a few courses where you'll have the opportunity to do so. From my personal experience, I did a course which is called Digital Prototyping, where I did exactly that. I did make a game in what's called Unity. So that's one course where it's a really good opportunity to do so. There's definitely other courses where you might be able to. So we have courses such as Deco 1800. I think that's Interactive Studio 1. So one of the assignments there is to present some data, and you can choose to present that in a game format if you'd like, as long as it's a web application. So there are a few courses where you can definitely choose to do so. I'm not aware of any specific ones that are sort of targeted towards game development only, but I did create a game in my digital prototyping course, and I had heaps of fun doing that.
Thanks, Rina. I've got a couple more questions coming through. So the first one is an average maths ability enough for mastering machine learning or AI?
I'm not sure, because I know those are part of the computer science degree, but I'm not studying that, those majors. I can kind of speak to that. I did have quite an average maths ability, and I did have to take some maths courses as part of my computer science degree, and I managed fine. I'm not sure what kind of maths courses you have to do as part of machine learning, but I find that what helps me is some of the schools, they run extra tutoring sessions, and you are always welcome to attend extra tutoring sessions if you need that extra support. So as long as you're asking for help, getting in touch with other students, I think, you know, an average maths ability is fine. You know, you just have to remain committed to learning all the content. I think you'll be fine. Yeah.
And Zyrene, I've got another question come through for you. Is it, or was it difficult for you to learn those other programming languages that you mentioned?
Yes, I think it was somewhat, but I think the most difficult aspect of learning those programming language was looking at my peers and realizing that I was quite behind. And that was, I think, the most difficult aspect, because you know, you can't let other people intimidate you. And I find that as long as, you know, you're trying to stay on top of content, and as I think Rina was briefly talking about practicals, which you take as part of courses. They're classes where you work on activities, and the tutors will come around and help you with those questions, as long as you're attending those. And you can, in my experience, you can attend as many as you would like to get that extra help. As long as you're doing that, then it's manageable. You know, it is a bit challenging, but I do, you know, as someone who had no programming experience beforehand, and I know Rina can also relate to this, it is definitely achievable. You just have to keep working at it.
Thank you, Zyrene. The next question is about how students are assessed in the program. Is it mostly written exams or coursework or practical work?
So it's really a combination of all of those. Some courses will have written exams, some courses might not. There'll be different types of assessment. There is really a mixed bag, and it really depends on the course. Yeah, they all really are all tailored individually, but it's generally individual assessments, group work, exams, maybe presentations, projects, portfolios, essays. There's a whole different range. It really depends which course it is. So if there are no more questions, thank you everyone for attending. Thanks again to Zyrene and Rina for giving your perspective, and we hope to see you soon.